Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just That I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we continued doing more job quests and did one dungeon. Well, off camera of course. In this episode I'm gonna go and begin the episode by queuing up for yet another dungeon with my archer. So let's go and just queue up for leveling roulette. And now let's also go and get even more enemies. So we've already run into these guys last episode. I think I already told you where all of these are. The only thing that I didn't mention, because I totally forgot about it, are the fireflies in Bent Branch. So let me go over to Central Shroud. And I think the fireflies are in the same place as the skeletons. Which I will show you. Again. So they are also in this place, near the Tantera Deep Growth. So I will be right back. Until either I'm done with this hunting log things, or until I, whatever, until I reach a certain level. Like, you know how this works. If you've watched up until this point, you know how this works. Alright, that is everything in the Central Shroud. Let us go to the South Shroud. Let's see. So... oh boy, Upper Lanoche, East Shroud, Upper Lanoche, Western Townland, South Shroud. That's a lot of enemies. But that's level 30 stuff. Wait. Or is it? Wait, it is. Well, it kind of is. Eh. I'll wait with that for a little bit. Let's just focus on the thing I was here for in the first place. Kikiran Beaters. In the upper paths, apparently. The Kikiran. I think they're in No Man's Hovel over here. When it comes to the Lancer, you also need to beat some Kikiran. Yep. And the Antelopes, which are over here. And I think over here, maybe too. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so apparently the Kikiran Beaters are in Buskron Scar instead. So I'm gonna be right back. Alright, we are done with all of those. Now, since we're here anyway, let's go and take a look if there's anything in the South Shroud. So, Overgrown Offerings, which you can find in front of the 1,000 Maws of Tortorak. Red Belly Sharp Eyes. These ones are actually in No Man's Hovel, because the Red Bellies are over here. Bane Might in North Shroud. Let's see. Central, Eastern, Nosh. Okay, Dark Efts can be found over here. These stags, which can be found in this freaking Fate, or a little bit lower. Sabatenders, nope. Goblin Thug in Silent Arbor. I think that the goblins are over here. This is the place where the goblins are, or over here. Central Shrouds, Eastern Nosh. The Autobons in the upper path. I encountered one of them right over here. So I think they're probably like along this river over here. Red Belly Lookout, once again. Red Bellies are over here. Well, they're either over here or over here, but I think they're the ones over here though, because they're higher level. Goblin Stuck, we already took a look at. Curlclaw Poachers. Curlclaws are over here, near Taker's Rod. Also, this is Goblin's Meat. The goblins are going to be over here instead. And Midland Condor in the lower paths. They are probably going to be flying either down here or over here somewhere. Alright, that is all the enemies in the South Shroud, so I will be right back. So, I learned something. You have No Man's Hovel over here. There's Red Bellies over here, there's Red Bellies over here, there's Red Bellies over here, there's Red Bellies over fucking everywhere. But I need to fight 5 of these Red Belly boys. And there's only 2 of them at the spot where I was at. So I would prefer to go over here now and kill 2 more. And then I guess I can go back and kill another one at the other side. I guess that works. Either that or you can go into the hive itself. There should be people in the hive. Also, I'm taking a lot of damage. Guess that's what happens when you're fighting enemies that are just a little bit more powerful than your usual. We're gonna take a look actually. Yep, there's just one over here. Don't even need to go too far out of my way. Alright, my friends, I'm gonna be right back again. You know what is like the peak of gaming / leveling in this game? Running into 2 ffXIVs in a row as a DPS in freaking roulette, where you already have to wait longer as a DPS because that's just the way it rolls. And then you run it twice in a row into ffXIV, which gives a grand total of 800 experience points. Wow! In combination with the last one, we had a freaking tank who was like constantly DCing and coming back and DCing and coming back, and we just beat, like normally ffXIV you can beat that with 2 people, I think. If you have like a healer and a DPS you can beat it, probably. But we had 2 DPS and a healer, so whatever, we could just beat it. Anyway, moving on. Alright, we have returned with, I think, was it 2 jobs that reached? Yeah, so we have 2 jobs over here that reached a level where I can do a new quest. So let's go and get that going. While I stretch again! Ooh, yeah. Whew. Let me also go and extract some material. While I am at it, yes. Let's see, because that is indeed my best line still. Hello. It is good to see you again, Lin, and stronger than when last we spoke. Plainly, you have devoted many hours to training, which is just as well, for I have a mind to set you your next task. At the Bramble Patch, you came to grasp the true meaning of courage. I would have you put that courage to the proof before 3 masters of our art. In the many years since they began their training within these halls, these men have led very different lives. Yet they share the distinction of being regarded amongst the finest lancers of their time. And just as they once looked to their seniors for inspiration, so too shall you look to them. By availing you of their wisdom, you will take another step towards becoming a fully fledged lancer. Your first instructor is a man named Mathiomi. Seek him out at Amarisse's Spire in the East Shroud, where he serves as a frontier sentry. The long years at his post have honed Mathiomi's perception. No detail escapes the man's piercing gaze. Present yourself before him for inspection, then, and do as he bids you. Okay. Yes, boss. You must be the young lancer I was told to expect. Greetings and well met. I am Mathiomi, commander of the brave men and women of the Spire. Now let's have a good look at you. I see. You possess strength and skill in abundance. Of this there is no doubt, but you still want for experience. Oh, I don't doubt you've seen much and more. Mayhap you believe there is naught left out there to unnerve you. Yet the world is wide, and only the gods can claim to know all. You may be assured that the legendary lancers of old faltered at times. No lancer nor any man can foresee all possibilities, but he can steel himself for the unexpected. I would have you do just that. Take this bottle of fresh-spoken blood and sprinkle it at the foot of the great tree to the north. Doing so will lure out creatures of the night, which you are to vanquish. The warm blood of a bipedal sentient. For some unknown reason, the humors will not coagulate. Bloodbat. Where's my VR ffXIV? I'm having internet issues. I've noticed it earlier too. My internet's not being my friend at the moment. Which is not too surprising because it is like about time when internet in my area gets used a lot by people, so. Welcome back, lass, and well done. I bore witness to your battle with mine own eyes. The bloodbath bewilders its prey with its ceaseless flittering, which makes putting a spear in the beast an exercise in frustration. Frustration that may easily give rise to panic. Yet, to your credit, you fought on resolutely, and thus emerged the victor. Ewain has taught you well, young one. You have a way to go, to be sure, but beneath those rough-hewn edges, I see the makings of a great lancer. With my blessing, make your way to Buscaron's brothers in the South Shroud. It is there that your next instructor, Buscaron himself, awaits. The man had a unique approach to our art. Though it's a fair while since he hung up his spear, his words are well worth hearing. Indeed. Lancers visit him as much for his counsel as they do his meat. Good though it is. By meeting Buscaron and availing yourself of his knowledge, your lance work will surely improve. Right, off we go to Quarry Mill. Hello. Well, if it isn't Ewain's protege. I thought it was about time you arrived. I'm Buscaron, and this here's my place. In case you're wondering why old Ewain sent you, I should mention I've not always been in the food and drink business. Before I opened the Druthers, I manned an outpost not far from here. En route, between keeping throats wet and bellies full, I ain't got a great deal of time to chat just now. So, if you don't mind, I'll get on with educating you. Now take this nice bottle of full flour mead. Wait, don't open it. This ain't that kind of lesson. No, I want you to make an offering of it at Mistal's lands, which is a monument tucked away in a rocky cleft to the south of here. See the bottle safely there, complete with its contents. And when you come back, I'll tell you a story. Got all that? Good. This aged honey liquor has a faint bouquet of roses and orchis. So, you offered to meet as I told you, and without drinking a drop? Very well. You shall have a tale of me as promised. Mistal is the man who founded the Lancers Guild, and the monument I sent you to was erected in his honor. Mistal was courage made flesh. Cut him, and I dare say he'd have bled the stuff. It was him who first identified the two aspects of a Lancer's courage, as well as how to go about tempering them. And that weren't all he did. Seeing how the art had gone stale, but without Lancers keeping to the confines of the Tollswood, he sought to bring in new techniques and methods from faraway lands. But Gridania was a different place in his day. The outside world was a thing to be shunned back then, and non-forest-born were considered faithless savages. Aye, it was even worse than now. Of course, old Mistal wasn't afraid to call that way of thinking what it was. A lot of ignorance and cowardice. To cut a long story short, despite a forest full of good old Gridanian stubbornness, he finally convinced the nation to open its doors to foreign lancers. And by blending their techniques with his own, he gave the world the art you now practice. To this day, the Lancers Guild accepts students regardless of their origin. That wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for Mistal. Us Lancers owe him much and more, and it's our charge to carry on his legacy. Never forget that. Huh? What's that? When's the trial? Bwahahaha. Much as I hate to disappoint, there isn't one. Your courage was never in that class. My part in your training's done. This time you visited your third and final instructor, a fellow named Vauclair. Vauclair, whatever. You'll find him wailing away It's time at the Bob and Cork, like as not. Oh, that's the name of an inn in Falgord Flood. In case you don't know, up in the North Shard it is. Volclair, yeah, sure. Volclair's an old rival of mine. Me and him used to go at it until neither man could lift his spear tip off the ground. Jesus. I warned you, he was a right stubborn bugger back then. And the years ain't done much to improve his humor, so good luck with impressing him. I guess he's upstairs. I take it you're the young lancer of whom Huwain spoke, and an adventurer besides, by the look of you. I was an adventurer myself once. That was before I became a lance for hire. But enough idle talk. You have come to learn from me, and learn from me you shall. Be warned, though, that you will not find me as lenient an instructor as the others. Now pay attention. Thus far you have learned to muster your courage in situations of fear, panic, and uncertainty. With me you will learn to do so in the face of a change. The enemy is a living thing, and living things are apt to change. Whatever the nature of that change, a lancer must be able to think and adapt. And to think and adapt during battle requires courage. To teach you the meaning of my words, I would have you challenge a fiery fiend known as the Red Balloon. However, the creature will appear only when there is a raging flame. You may kindle such a flame by procuring 6 fingers from slain balloons, and depositing them at a gutted campfire. This should suffice to entice the Red Balloon. As the battle wears on, the creature's fury shall burn with ever greater fervor, until it is ripe to burst in a conflagration of death. Let courage lend strength to your lands and extinguish this fiery foe. Time to kill some bombs. Bombs? Or balloons. Also, there's some enemies from my hunting log. Coincidence? I think not. May as well do them while I'm here. Another thing that was quite interesting when I was running in the the dungeon, so I think it was Copperbell. There was like a catboy dude who was very much checking out my character. Looking at my character quite a lot. So that was interesting. Well, I did have like some more revealing clothing, let me say it like that. Sometimes it's very difficult not to notice. If you're wondering, I think I explained this like much earlier, but for some people who like may not have been here for as long, if you're wondering why I'm not queuing up while doing job quests, it is mainly because I don't know which job quests have an instance in it, but if it has an instance, then it means that I cannot complete it, because instances you can only do when you're not queuing up for anything. So that is the reason why. Lest you wonder. I could still do it, but since I'm like leveling up a lot of DPS... Well, the thing is, like, this is kind of an interesting thing. So, when I'm leveling up a DPS, a lot of the time, you'll run into situations where you basically can't really, like, how should I even explain this? You basically, it's going to take a long freaking time before your queue pops a lot of the time. So they might think like, okay, let me go and do like some like one of these job quests in the meantime. But if you then run into an instance that you need to join, then you would technically either have to wait for your queue to pop, or you'd have to wait for the queue to pop, or you have to wait for... I'm sorry, or you have to just drop the queue altogether and go into the instance. So then you would still lose even more time. So. And then with healers, you just get insta-pops and yeah. This tiny finger taken from a void sand balloon is hot to the touch. The red balloon! Ba-dum. This thing is definitely growing, that's for sure. Holy shit. Damn, boy, he's thick! Right. And I would hear that you get insta-pops and then it doesn't really matter too much, like... Right. Hello. So, you vanquished the red balloon, no less than I would expect of one of Wayne's. Your enemy altered its nature throughout the encounter, thereby causing the turns of battle to shift repeatedly. Yet ever did you press onwards, press onwards, your courage holding firm in the midst of constant change. So it was that you emerged triumphant. I'm not known for being literal with my praise, but you have done well. Yours is a genuine courage. Mind you, this doth not give you a license to forsake your training. You're still but a fledgling among us, after all. I have finished with you. You may report back to your Wayne. And when you do, tell that young upstart that I demand he show his face here from time to time. That is all. Ah. And yawning too! Yay! Huh. Such a tiring freaking couple of weeks in general. In general, it's the freaking heat, man. Heat's getting to me. Right. Hello. Old Vauclair demands I show my face. I can only assume the buxom brunette at the float isn't lavishing him with the attention he craves. Very well, I shall see what I can do. As for you, Lynn, well done. I never doubted that you would meet with the approval of all three men. Yet I'm no less proud of you for having done so. You have travelled far along the Lancer's path, and soon you will no longer require my guidance. In fact, you need overcome but one further trial to complete your education here. Do so, and I will give you my blessing to leave the Lancer's Guild and embark upon a new adventure with spear in hand. As ever, apply yourself to your lance work, and return when you are ready for your final challenge. I look forward to our meeting. To our next meeting, whatever. Right, time to get myself a fork. As we learn full thrust. I'm gonna equip this. Any other upgrade? No. Okay, so full thrust is the final part of our little combination over here. Of true thrust, purple thrust, and a full thrust. So we finally get to finish our combo. Now there was also the archery quest. I still love just having quick knock in these early freaking dungeons. It's so good. Right, hello. Alan, I had hoped you would come. You may be able to help. I'm concerned about Leia and Sylvain. They show signs of losing perspective and, well, mayhap it is best you see for yourself. I cannot help but feel that both would benefit from your counsel. Consider this a personal request, Lynn. Oh god, did Luciane send you to pester me by any chance? This is hardly her concern, it's most definitely not yours. If you must know, I have decided to leave the guild. I mean to track down Pawa Mujuk, whatever, and finish what we started. The God's Quiver and Wood Whaler seem content to ignore our warnings, but I will not let her escape again. I already made that mistake once, and it cost me my place in the God's Quiver. Aye, the foolish sentry of whom I once spoke... Oh, wait. Of whom I once spoke? He was me. We had her, Lynn. There was no escape, but then she began to wail about a wounded comrade. One who would surely die without her help. She looked me straight in the eye and begged. And I blinked, Failed to see through the most elementary ruse. Failed Gridania and the God's Quiver, and while that can never be forgiven, mayhap I can reclaim a measure of honor by stopping her. But a wanderer like you would not understand what it means to betray your people. Worry not. I do not intend to leave just yet. I will continue to gather information until I am certain of Muyuk's whereabouts. Make no mistake, though. It is only a matter of time. Now run along, will you? Oh, if you're so concerned about your fellow guildmates, you should attend to that moping Mikote. The sight of her shuffling around while staring at her feet is bad for morale. Not that it matters to me. Oh, it's you. Tell me, Lynn, do you ever think about home? Do you ever wish you could go back? Mine was just another poor village in the Twelswood. The fields were more stone than soil, and the merchants hardly ever bothered to visit. We didn't have a lot, but we didn't need it. And then the calamity came. I remember running and screams. It was so loud, then so unbearably loud. And then I was here, in a strange city, surrounded by more people than I'd ever seen, and I didn't know any of them. But I knew how to hunt. I was always good at hunting. Lynn, and the guild gave me a place to get better. At least I thought I'd gotten better. She, Pawa Muyuk, she was so much more. I've been thinking, Lynn, that maybe this is a sign. Maybe Sylvain is right, and this guild, the city, is no place for an outsider like me. And so I've decided to leave. I'm glad to have known you, Lynn, even if it was only for a short while. Forgive me if this is too selfish a request, but before I go, I would like to meet you one last time. Alone, in the South Shroud. These Gridanians would not understand. You what? Okay, now before we do this, I'm gonna need to eat a snack because I'm getting ridiculously hungry. Be right back. Alright. Gotta maneuver my chair. And there we go. Off we go. Cutscene. No, don't hurt her. There I was thinking you might have you mightn't accept my kind invitation. I don't recall inviting her though. 'Tis rude to presume, missy, and I do so hate rudeness. Wait, it's not her fault, it's mine. I invited her. She's a member of the Archers Guild like me, and she's not a Gridanian. Ah, I do begin to recall her face, aye. Knows how to hold a bow. Now one. Well, she ain't a typical recruit, but I reckon I might be willing to make an exception. No, it's not like that. I wanted to say goodbye. Then, ever since I met Pawa, I've been at a loss, but I realize now that my place isn't at the guild, with the Gridanians. They'll never accept me. This is where I belong, with my people, carrying on our traditions, our archery, not Gridania's. It's all I have left, Lynn, so I'm going with Pawa. Maybe you don't understand now, but just promise me you won't tell Luciane or Sylvain. The hells I won't! As you wish. Then. Made your peace with your little friend, have you? Right then, let's get on with it. Put an arrow in her. You what? Ain't no love lost twixt you and the guild, is there? Then what's the problem with feathering a bloody venture? No bugger will miss her. I'll miss her, alright, so just stop. Dear me. That's such high hopes for you. Miss Aligapo wasted bloody time. A keeper once lost her nerve about as much, the nerves about as much use to me as a glass bow. But there's no sport in killing capture prey. Ah, better not be seeing, better not see neither you again, because if I do, I'll show you what happens to prey what's daft enough to get caught twice. Away, sisters, away. How do you do it, Lynn? How do you live in this place with these people? And why do you even bother? What have they ever given you besides scorn? Well, what do you see in them, Lynn? Even though you joined the guild after I did, you've come so far, so quickly. Maybe you've even surpassed me. I have to know how you've done it. I have to know what it is that I'm doing wrong. And there's only one way I can think of to find out. Meet me at the Bannock. Okay. Also, whoopsie. Gotta block that shit. Although you did see a little bit of Dutch. Oh my god. Right. Hello. Shall we begin then? Then defend yourself. Show me what these people have taught you. Do what? Ba-ba-da-ba. I said fight me, damn it. Why are you holding back? No, I'm not holding back, trust me. Is that all you've got? I know you can do better. Hunting falcon, huh? That my friend is cheating. Can I summon my chocobo? Not bad, but I'm not finished yet. Don't know about you, but I think you're kind of, for my people, for my family, for me, yeah. I see now. Congratulations, you killed your guildmate. It's so simple. You have opened your eyes and looked beyond your master's faults. You've accepted their teachings and taken them to heart. Even Silver, for all his biggery, wishes only to preserve his tradition. Out of sight of everyone else's struggles, and became obsessed with mine own. I was so afraid to let go of my cherished notion of archery, my family's notion, and learn another way. I didn't want to betray them or dishonor their memory. But I have a family here too. A family that sees the wider world, and is willing to show me how blinkered I have become. As archers, we train our eyes and minds to be unforgiving, to defy any attempt at concealment, and discern the naked truth. It is little wonder, then, that I have neglected to look inside myself until now. Though unquestionably worthwhile, I found the experience rather excruciating. Thank you, Lynn. I now know that I belong at the guild, together with you and Lucia. And yes, even that bloody Wildwood. God's help me. I think I might actually miss him. Right. Back to Lucian! Somebody testing out their rotation. I still love this guy's name. Chance to Loop. Welcome home, Lynn. You need not say a word. One look at Leia's eyes was enough. Thank you for returning her to us. When we focus on a single goal and pursue it with passion and fervor, it becomes easy to lose sight of what else lies before us. With your skill and vision, Lynn, you can help your fellow archers to look beyond themselves and remember their comrades. I hope I can count on your support in the future. Doho? Yeah, no. That bow is also inferior. Trash! Anyway, let's see. So, what's the lowest level right now? My Lancer. Let's go and queue up as the Lancer, and I am going to meet you guys back here when I am done with... Actually, aren't I already done with the enemies in the South Tribe? No, I am not. I think I still need to get the... Yeah, I still need to go and get the goblins. So I'm gonna be right back. Alright. So, what else is there? Because that's an Upper Lanoche. Western Thanalan, Southern Thanalan, North Thanalan, just lots of Thanalan. And Lanoche, so... Let's see, I need to go to the East Route at least. 2 enemies in the East Route. North Route stuff. Also is Central, apparently. Let's go to Central first. Deal with these toadstools. In Sorrel Haven. Anything else in Central? No, only the toadstools. I'm gonna remove that. Central Shroud. Central Shroud. You afraid to get wet? Right. That is in Sorrel Haven. I think they are probably over here somewhere. So I'm going to be right back. Alright. We are done with this place at the moment. My Lancer has nothing left in Gridania, yeah. Or the Shroud, in this case. East Shroud seems to be a place where I need to go. Yep, for 2 enemies already. So it's already 2 enemies, so 3 enemies. 4 enemies. Right, to the East Shroud we go. We're almost level 30 with a lot of these. Which is pretty dang nice. My apologies. Yawning. Okay, so. The diseased treant in the bramble patch. Well, the bramble patch. Quite easy. The jumping jigger is over here. Then that is all for this. This is treant. And glowflies are also in the bramble patch, like over here, I think. So, B. Okay. So that leaves us with an enemy or 2 in the North Shroud. Whoa. So Banemite in the North Shroud and Aziz as Archer. Let us go to the north. Far, far to the north. Okay. So, the Ziz are in here. Like right with just that which binds us. Fate is happening, and the Banemite, also Alder Springs, they're also over here. They're actually over here, right here. Right, I'm gonna be right back again. Alright, we have reached level 30 with our lance. With our lance, yeah, singular lance. Alright, more stretches. Ooh, yeah. Stretching feels nice every single time. Let us finish the Lancer questline, shall we? And then unlock a Dragoon! So I may do things like that guy's doing. Jump. So I will have the magical power of jumping. Hello. Ah, then, never a sight for sore eyes. By your return, I take it you are ready for the final trial. Very well, let us... Guildmaster Owain! You are wounded. What has happened? We were attacked, sir, by a dusk-white lancer, as we trained in the forest. He was impossibly strong. A demon. He kept screaming something about teaching us through courage. No, not him. Not Falcus. We were in the northwest corner of the Central Shroud. When it happened, I was able to get away, but the others... You must help the others. Arg. Be strong, man. I'm sorry, Lynn, the trial must wait. Pray make haste to the Central Shroud and help your comrades. And Lynn, should Falcus force your hand, do what must be done. 12 speed, you on your way. Right. Off we go. Following this fucking madman. I really like the fact that we're making like pretty swift progress. We're leveling up now because of this. Helps so much. Right. Scarred Lance. Help, for the love of the 12, help me! Help me, please! I'm going to this. Oh right, I have the third part now. I was like so used to only having 2 attacks in my combo that now I have the third one, it confuses me. Perfect. Oh yeah. Feels satisfying. That is for sure. And there we go. Really? What a duty. Am I right? I owe you my life, friend. Another breath and I would have become worm food. Or worm fodder. A Duskwhite Lancer unleashed the fiend upon us, claiming it would temper our courage. You should have seen the look in his eye when he said it. Mad bastard. Where is he now? I think he headed off towards the North Strand. Maybe in the direction of Falgord Float? I can't say for sure. I was concentrating on the skill net at the time. If it's a reckoning you seek, you are like to be disappointed. Those of us who managed to outrun the worms will already have alerted the whalers. I dare say the Duskwhite is being held at spear point as we speak, begging for his worthless life in a puddle of his own piss. So is the bastard right and all. Help me, please. Help me. Help me. I'm dying. Alright. Another instance. What kept you? Helping your comrades, you say? Fool. You waste your pity on false friends. It is only a matter of time before they betray you. Aye, just like those wretches who saw me imprisoned and exiled. I was once an upright citizen of Gridania, and the man of the Lancers Guild. Yet life was not easy. For want of the coin to obtain the barest necessities, I conspired with my closest comrades to steal from the guild's coffers. The theft soon came to light, and though there were no suspects, it was clear that the deed had been perpetrated by someone within the ranks. And net of suspicion hung heavy over the guild from that day forth. Until at last, unable to bear the guilt, I convinced my accomplices to join me in confessing. Only for them to bite their craven tongues after I had stepped forward and admitted my part in the crime. And so it was that I alone took the blame. Of course it was a Duskwhite, everyone said. Was there ever any doubt? It was all made perfect sense. Despite my heartfelt pleas, my so-called friends denied any involvement. Instead, they called me vulgar names that I did not care to repeat. Can you imagine the shock and anguish I felt at their betrayal? Would that I had the strength to force the truth out of those traitors. Would that I had the courage to escape my dungeon cell, even if it meant taking some hapless guard's life. Driven by vengeance and no small amount of self-loathing, I resolved to forge my courage anew. I strode into the lairs of ravenous fiends, while drenched in blood. I put their helpless offspring to the spear, that I might face the unbridled fury of their kin. For my efforts I have acquired the ultimate courage, a courage forged amidst danger and tempered by rage. I fear nothing. I am the greatest lancer that has ever lived. Alright, Falcus of the Mist. We settle this once and for all. Dun, 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 dun. You're the sole lancer worthy of the name. By defeating you, I will prove my courage. It's interesting how they use life surge, but they don't use a skill. Ah, we will not get the better of me. Summoning the undead, huh? Okay. You think me without honor? To hell's with your honor. I fight for victory and I will stop at nothing to attain it. The burning ring of frost. The ring of frost. All weapon skills are dealing critical damage. Wow. That's a nice buff. Wish I had that. That would be literally OP. It's really complete. Impossible. My courage is absolute. No, come no closer. What? Are you serious? Stupid. Stupid bird brain! There we go. Get out of here. Not gonna lie, when I did this quest for the first time, I wasn't paying attention to the dialogue because I didn't care. But I did find it crazy that this dude just died. He's like, as far as I know it, he's dead. He fell off of a freaking cliff, so. Could be that I missed something else in one of the story parts or whatever that I decided not to pay attention to. Hell if I know. But in this playthrough, my friends, we will know. For I will read just about everything. Right, hello. Oh, right, forgot to block the chat again. Oh well. So, Falcus is no more. His was a tragic tale, and one that might have been so different had fate not dealt him such a cruel hand. He could well have commanded a place of honor within these halls, but it avails us not to dwell upon what might have been. It is enough that you are still with us, then. Lest you wonder about your final trial, there will be none. I have seen all I need to see. You have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that yours is a genuine courage. In recognition of this, I shall pass to you the secrets of Lance Charge, one of the most potent abilities in our arsenal. You're a lancer in your own right now. There's not more I can teach you. From here onwards, it is up to you to seek out such challenges as will make you grow. Like attracts like, and the strong are drawn to strength. Just as I once knew for a certainty that I was destined to face the Lord of the Bramble Patch, so too will you find, or be found, by an adversary of equal worth. None can say what fate will bring, but armed with your courage, there is naught you need to fear. Keep close to your heart the lessons you have learned here, and go forth to blaze a new trail, yes, with spear in hand. Whatever. Let's go and get this back. And yeah, I have full dungeon gear. These freaking rewards are never gonna be good enough anymore. As we learn, a Lance Charge, which is a pretty freaking nice move. So, Lance Charge. Increases damage dealt by 10%. Just in general, a 10% damage buff. No hiccups. I dare say you might just be the right woman for the job. The guild has urgent need of a capable lancer for a mission beyond our nation's borders. Hear me out, if you will. I've received word from an Ishgardian friend to the effect that he requires our aid. I would have you go and provide that aid. As you may already know, due to her ongoing conflict with the dragons, Ishgard has kept her gates closed to the outsiders for some time. The occasional dragoon on patrol duty is about all folk see these days. In spite of her self-imposing isolation, however, the Holy See has never failed to honor her obligations to her allies. It is only fitting that we answer the call and lend what assistance we can. To this end, we offer to dispatch a contingent of wood whalers with all haste. But were politely informed that they would not be welcome, much to our initial confusion. It was later explained that we are dealing with a matter of some sensitivity, best handled by individuals who are capable and trustworthy, yet unbound by allegiance, and who fit that description, save adventurers. Secrecy being paramount, I can provide no details as to the nature of the task. All you need to know will be revealed at the rendezvous point. Should you accept the mission, take yourself to the Observatorium. A knight by the name of Ser Elberic, yes, will receive you upon arrival. That's blah 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 blah. Off we go. Back to Kurthus, and like it's been a friggin' hot minute since I've been in Kurthus. Dead is dead. Very true. Wise words. Right. Down we go. Hello. Ah, you must be the adventurer whom Ywain sent word. Greetings and well met. I am Sir Elbrick Bale, Knight of Ishgard. The Holy See is much obliged to you for your aid. Time being of the essence, I shall proceed straight to the heart of the matter. The Eye, an Ishgardian relic of immeasurable worth, has been stolen, and we have reason to believe the culprit has come this way. So it is that we ask your assistance in its recovery. The thief has been identified as a man named Estinian, a dragoon sworn to the service of the Holy See. Aye, you heard true. The crime was perpetrated by one of our own, an individual in a position of trust and no little honor. You may be assured that a fate worse than death awaits him upon capture. My duties to the sea afford me little opportunity to travel far beyond the walls of Ishgard. I must confess to a grave ignorance of recent Gridanian affairs. I was told that a sentry by the name of Logadanril, or something, might have knowledge of routes oft taken by his guardian fugitives. I would prefer to keep my identity a secret, and thus would have you gather what information you can from the man. You must act quickly, for you see, Estinian is... But I have already said too much. What matters is that we find our thief and the Eye with all haste. When last sighted, Estinian was clad in black armor. Now go, and speak another word of what I have told you to anyone. Nod. Rich favored by his guardian fugitives. Now that's a question I don't hear every day. You aren't plotting some unsavory act yourself, are you? Even if you were, I doubt you'd make it far. Any road. We've caught a few fleeing to the north shroud. What with Gridania being home to nearly as many Elezen as Ishgard, it is no easy task to identify outsiders. If you're on the hunt for someone, you could do worse than to visit Florental's spire in the north shroud and speak with a man named Idristan. If any suspicious persons have crossed the border in recent days, he'd be the first to know. Right. Off we go. My god, how many times am I going to see the same Dutch ad? Jesus Christ. Everywhere I go, I see this freaking ad. Let me also go and extract my materia for a second. Materia. There we go. Hail, adventurer. Yes, I am the one tasked with monitoring those who would enter our lands by way of Kurthus. An Ishgardian knight, clad in black armor. No, I recall nothing of the sort, and such a striking visitor would be difficult to forget. My apologies, friends. I can only suggest that you return to Logadendril and see if he has any other theories. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go and fly into Kurthus if I can. Because my freaking god. I hate the fact that there's only one Aetherite in Curses. This is one of the more annoying areas to traverse, I feel. No luck, you say? Most curious, why it is now impossible that a fugitive could make it this far without being espied from Florin to Aspire? Which leaves the possibility that your man is still in Ishgard. It runs counter to good sense. Would the fugitive not want to put a distance of ground between him and his pursuers? But by the process of deduction, it is a possibility. The climbs of Ishgard are not kind to drifters and vagabonds. That said, there has been talk of curious smoke wanting from a cave east of here, at night. Where are you? I might begin my search there. Never even noticed that there were Ixal over here. That's interesting. Oh my god! Terok matrons. Look at the amount of damage I'm doing! Oh my god! Right. Interact with the campfire. And get another cutscene as a reward. That Ishgard would resort to sending coin-craven adventurers after me. I don't know whether to laugh or feel insulted. The eye, it rouses for another? Preposterous. Prosperous. Or perhaps I cross again, you can be sure of it. Nani? And off we go. Wow, there's just two people who just entered this place and murdered all the Ixal. And then left. GG. Congratulations, you committed genocide. Alright, Alberic. A dragoon clad in black, you say? Tell me tell me all that transpired, please. By the fury that the eye would choose another. I had not thought it possible, in light of recent events. It would seem an explanation is in order. The eye is no ordinary relic. It harbors the power of the dragon, which it bestows upon a single chosen soul, the strongest and wisest dragoon. He who is chosen is possessed of the power to fight our mortal foes, the dragons of Drevania, on equal footing, soaring the firmament as if it were an extension of the lands. That man is known as the Azure Dragoon. The Azure Dragoon is the light of hope for all his guardians, and a paragon of all dragoons. For this reason, you may imagine how it pains me to have to confess that the man you encountered, the thief, is none other than the Azure Dragoon, and that I was once his teacher. Needless to say, I acknowledge myself accountable for Estinian's misdeeds. I mean to do all in my power to find him and recover the eye, but I cannot do this alone. I require your help, Lyn, you who have received the power of the dragon. You may labor to believe it, but there can be no mistake. The soul of the dragoon I bear glows in your presence. Irrefutable proof that you are chosen. What I can ill explain, however, is the why of it. Never before in Ishgard's long history has the eye aroused to more than one individual in a single generation. But it avails us not to cudgel our brains about it. The fact of the matter is that you are now a vessel for the power of the dragon. That dragon lies yet in slumber, however. And you must needs... my favorite friggin' line. You must needs possess the means to wake it, the soul of the dragoon. I don't trust you with mine, Lyn. Like Estinian, I once ruled the skies as the Azure Dragoon. Although that power has since become lost to me, it was simply by force of habit that I have hitherto... That's the thing. Hitherto kept the soul upon my person. I have no inkling as to why the eye has seen fit to choose a second, and an outsider at that. Yet one thing is clear. None can challenge the Azure Dragoon and conceivably prevail, save another Azure Dragoon. You are our only hope of bringing Estinian to justice, and reclaiming the eye. Of course, I do not ask you that you do this unaided. I may be a Dragoon no more, but what knowledge I have, I shall gladly impart to you. For indeed when a time comes that you must face the Azure Dragoon, not less than complete mastery over the power of the dragon will avail you. That a perilous road lies ahead of you, I shall not deny. Knowing this, if you would still lend me your land, I will teach you to harness the power that has chosen you. Go forth, my young dragoon, and rouse the dragon within. I look forward to your return. Complete, as we unlock Dragoon. Durgan. The meme job. Because dragoons are most of the time dead. At least that is what I would have you believe. As we learn jump. And we also level up, because why not? Alright, let's go and equip this. I'm also going to equip the steel spear, because, you know. Probably should have done that earlier, huh? Alright, let me go and see. No other thing for that, so let me go and update the gear set. Change Lancer to Dragoon. Let's go and remove the play guide and put all of my things back into place. Back into your place! Let's go and do that. This, you're going to be on... I think... It was that button that I used it for. Full thrust over there. This over there. You over there. Leg sweep on F and bloodbath over there somewhere. And piercing talons over you. Okay, nice. So, what does jump do? Well, delivers a jumping attack with a potency of 250. Returns you to your original position after the attack is made. Cannot be executed while bound. Let me show you what this looks like. So the thing that I tend to do... This enemy is level 35. Well, that's fine. So, let me go and do this. Let me go and gather some power. Then do this. Then do one of these life surges. Jump up and do this. So jump is ridiculously fast right now. It used to not be that fast. Now it's just like you jump and you go back down. While back in ye old day, not too long ago actually, this skill was a lot less... Like, it was actually a risk to use this skill. That's how bad it was. But it's, like, it wasn't a bad skill particularly, but you had to really think about when you were going to use it. Because it would basically... It would bring you to one location and then back to your original location. So if you're unlucky, and an AoE happens right around the enemy when you jump on them, you take the damage. And it works the other way around too, where if you're unlucky and you land back on your original place where another AoE hits over there, then you also get hit. There's also another move which allows you to like jump backwards, do a backflip backwards basically, to avoid things. And a lot of dragoons either die because of the jump, or die because they jump backwards off of a cliff or into like a death wall. So yeah, that is where the meme came from, by the way. Of the dead dragoon, the lol dragoon. Anyway, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just How I Was playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode we are going to go and deal with even more of the same. We're probably going to finish off either only Archer or maybe Archer and Conjurer both. We'll have to see. Goodbye.